Hello, 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 and welcome to the 99th episode of the Sovereign Society podcast. My mind is completely blown that the last episode of the year, the last episode of the decade, the last episode before I hit three figures in terms of my 100th episode, so my 99th episode, is all happening right before the solstice. I'm just blown away. I've been reflecting so much on this past decade, this past year, this journey of building my business, starting the Sovereign Society podcast. I have just been in pure hermit mode, reflecting and honoring and just being in that state of holy shit, like how far I've come, what I'm here sharing, and how I've barely scratched the surface. So if you're someone who's been tuning into the Sovereign Society podcast from the beginning, I honor you so much. Thank you so much for being on this journey. 2016 was when I started this. As a mystical marketing muse, I've always been someone who's ahead of the marketing trends. And I started a podcast before podcasting got big. And now podcasts are jumping left and right, up and down. Everywhere you're seeing people are starting these podcasts, which is great because people are answering the call to share their truth. And it's just amazing to see what's evolved from when I first started to where I am now and for what's to come. And so what I've really seen is what's been activated after recording 99 episodes of the podcast is my truth, unlike ever before. And it was really challenging because I started recording this podcast while I was still going through it with being struck by lightning and the psychosis and the paranoia and the PTSD. And this was the opportunity for me to reclaim my voice and for me to step into my power again, because I was silenced for years, just so overwhelmed, my nervous system, and just fearful and in so much pain, that this was the medicine I dove into to heal myself. Because Gemini Sun conjunct Jupiter, like Virgo Moon, Mercury is like my bitch. Like I am Mercury. I am a communicator. I am a public speaker. I am a teacher. And this platform has allowed me to connect with people all over the world and to share my message, my medicine, and my truth. And so thank you. It doesn't matter if you've been listening from the beginning or if this is your very first episode. I just want to say thank you so much, because you've given me this opportunity to inspire others and to share my truth and to, again, reclaim my power. So, during that time, I went from trauma coaching into spiritual journey, into this space now where I'm in this beautiful alchemy of blending and bridging the woo and the practical when it comes to business and life. And I believe all of this is a solistic journey. And now that I'm diving deeper in embracing my gifts and not being afraid of the fact that I'm good at marketing, and I've always been really good at marketing, and it's just a gift. As Oprah says, it's just a fact. Like, it's what it is. I have my degree in marketing, and I was always helping people and friends, like pro bono, and really not having that value of the worth of myself, of my work. And now I'm like, no, this is actually what I'm here to do, because I want to help modern mystics unleash their medicine with the world. So many of us have been doing this deep, deep, deep healing journey for so long. And I don't know about you, but I know I was here, and I'm here answering the call to show up and to step up and to share my teachings and my wisdom. And I get messages all the time from either like my soul sisters or people on Instagram. So you can follow me on Sabrina Richio. Let me know that you're tuning in. I get them in emails when I meet people one-on-one. They're always asking me questions about marketing and branding. Because have you seen my Instagram profile? If you've seen my website, all the things, like I really love branding. And so, for me to really heal with this solstice, because this is the last solstice of the decade, and it was ignited by the 12-12-12 portal, which I'm going to dive in a little deeper. but just really seeing that like this is my time and this is all of our times. And with the way that the world is right now, there's no more room for playing small. And so I want to talk about why this solstice is extra potent. I just talked a little bit about how a lot of this journey was initiated with the 12-12-12 portal. So why 12-12-12? Well, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 equals 12. And so the way that I was seeing it was that the 12-12-12 portal was the Holy Trinity. It was a 3-3-3, which adds up to 9. 9 is the subtle body. In Kundalini Yoga, we talk about this in Tantric numerology, how we're not one body, we're actually 10, and the ninth body is the subtle body. So it's very discreet, but in a way of like you have to be really still to listen to this guidance, and you have to really go within and tap into that sensitivity and the intuition as to what's going on. So for me, the way that I'm seeing this 12-12-12 portal was that this was the portal that is getting us out of the darkness and into the light. So it's just been blowing my mind because and 12-12-12, 9 days after 12-12-12 is the 21st, which is the solstice. And I'm not going to say winter solstice because there's also friends that listen from Australia, so they're having their summer solstice. In the northern hemisphere, we're having the winter solstice. And I just want to be able to understand that this is just change. All of us are experiencing this change. And so this solstice is potent. As I shared, it's the last solstice of this decade and this 12-12-12 portal, and we're going into 2020 crystal vision. So through this decade really, and the last especially 7 years, I just want you to like exhale for a second, because what we've had to endure as a collective has been a holy shift, right? A lot of us had their awakening in 2012. I know for me, that was the year I got struck by lightning. That's when I started my spiritual path. And a lot of people who you follow that are teachers, a lot of them got initiated in 12-12. And so whether if you did or if you didn't, we're all finishing on this solstice, a Saturn cycle. And you've heard about Saturn return in the past. I've had this on my podcast before, and the energy of Saturn. And I talked with you also about gearing up for 2020. And so now this is the time for you to really understand and embrace the simple fact that that Mayan shift happened on 12-21-12. This is 12-21-19 we're coming on. 7 years as Saturn goes a square, which means it goes at a 90 degree from its point. So we're just turning like from noon to 3 o'clock of where Saturn has been in its full cycle. And with that 7 year cycle, you have a whole new body from 12-21-12 now. You have a whole new consciousness. You have all new cells. Your saliva has changed and your taste buds have shifted. You have a completely new body now than when you did when that shift happened in 12-21-12. And this past 7 year has been such a powerful incubation where we've had this great awakening, because this is the time for us to step up, and it's why we incarnated during this wild time in human history. We are birthing a new dawn. This is a new earth and an opportunity for us as a spiritual group of beings having and witnessing this human experience on this planet right now. This is the time for us to show up. We, again, are diving into 2020 crystal vision. So with this new Saturn cycle, Saturn is the planet that is the master teacher. I want you to really harness and focus on what have been those lessons you've really learned this last Saturn cycle, let alone this decade. And so reflect on that. See how far you've come. When I think back of where I was in 2012 and when I think of where I was in 2010, I'm a completely different person. The person who I was in 2010 was so lost and so depressed and just so wanted to be seen and heard and accepted that she would do anything she could to get that approval of others because she didn't know how to approve of herself. What this journey has taught me, especially doing the Sovereign Society podcast and connecting with people from all over the world and all these teachers and wonderful people and just sharing my own truth, is that that woman, she's still with me and I love her to pieces now. And it's just so fun to reflect back on who she was, who I was, and to see how all of this is going to unfold. So I just really want you to give yourself permission to pat yourself on the back and to recognize and honor how far you've come, because this last decade has really taught me to embrace my voice and my power, and to know that the number one thing that I need to do first and foremost is to love the shit out of myself. Like, I need to love myself. I need to love the fact that I am always led, I am always protected, that the universe, God, spirit, my ancestors, the highest benevolence of truth and love and compassion always has my best interest in mind, and that it will always recalibrate the way that I see this reality so that I can learn that lesson and get out of that karmic loop. That's been the biggest thing that I've really learned from this decade, is to just embrace the fact that we're all doing our best here. And, you know, the faster and the sooner we choose and decide to take care of our shit and to clean up the areas in our lives that have been dusty and full of cobwebs or completely shut down, it's time to love all the pieces of ourselves again. And I really feel like this is what this solstice is really bringing up, because Capricorn season, we got to get to work coming up, and this Sagittarius season has just been so reflected. And I booked a one-way ticket to Bali, and I'm leaving in February and going through that journey to finish writing the book there, and just trusting and taking that leap and activating myself in 2020. Things have already shifted in that way. So again, all it comes down to is you making that decision and to take that leap, to face the fear and to choose from your heart what it is you really desire. And so with this medicine of 2020, why I do feel like it's going to be a really, really powerful year is that it's a 4-year, or it's a master 22 number, right? 2, 0, 2, 0, or 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 is 4. So let's talk about first the 4, because 4 in Kundalini Yoga through Tantric numerology is the neutral mind, where we can see both sides of the coin to recognize that it's a coin. And so we have to really address where our negative mind is. We have to really address where we can get kind of caught up in the narcissism or like the selfishness, and how can we start to balance on, you know, honoring ourselves and taking care of ourselves while also showing up and serving for others, and coming from this space of neutrality where yin yang, masculine, feminine are truly in harmony. And when we find that peace, we are going to accelerate in 2020 more than you even know. This is what I've been teaching through my courses. This is what I've been teaching on this podcast. This is what I've been teaching on my Instagram, wherever I am. This is the biggest thing that I love to share with people, is finding that balance within. And when you come from that space, more ease and grace is offered. And with that, I'm excited to announce that I am going to be doing another 40-day journey. So I'm really pumped about this, because we're embarking on this journey, and this journey is going to be the chance for you to really get out of your own way in 2020, because you know, what gets us caught up and what gets us stuck is that fear of like, oh my gosh, like I want this thing, but I'm so scared, right? You have to take that leap and just go for it. And so this 40-day guide is going to be helping you really harness that space, to really show up and step up from that space. And so on January 6th, we're going to be doing a 40-day Kundalini journey together, and it's free. All you have to do is check out the show notes here. And on this profile of this episode, Either if you're watching on YouTube or if you are listening, check out the show notes and you'll be able to get the link as to where we'll go. You'll also be able to get a calendar to cross off your 40 days. And I'm going to be doing it live with you on the 6th, which is also a super potent day for me because January 6th is the day I'm out of my Saturn return. It's the day that the 3 wise men came to Mother Mary and delivered the frankincense, the myrrh, and the gold. And so this is what I'm talking about. These are the shifts that are already going to happen in 2020, and it's happening fast. Best believe the mysticism, the synchronicities, the magic and the medicine is all coming because you've been busting your ass off. But to really be able to receive it, 1, strengthen your nervous system. 2, give yourself permission to love yourself and to balance that masculine and feminine, create that solid container so that you can receive. So that's pretty potent. I'm so excited for 2020 because this past decade has been brutal and hell, and the past 30 years for me have been brutal and hellish, but it's given me such a gift in the same way to be able to be compassionate, to hold space for you, to share my wisdom and my truth and my journey on this podcast, through my teachings, through my website, through my social media, whatever, through interaction. It's all been perfect, and to finally get to that space where to get out of the victim and choosing to be victorious and just really grateful for all of it. That's the key to really experience success in this upcoming decade. So give yourself permission to feel that, to really feel that success and to start implementing that balance. The solstice is perfect time to really start going, and the fact that this episode is airing a couple days before the solstice really gets you in the gear. So if you really want to dive in and really reflect on the solstice, check out the show notes and the description of this episode to get your solstice reflection guide. And I really want you to harness and hone in and really focus and be in that state of gratitude so you can go into 2020 feeling really aligned and activated and just in this space of overflow and abundance, not in the space of scarcity, but knowing that this is an abundant life and the blessing that it is to be alive during this time in history. And so as this is the 99th episode, oh my gosh, it's just like, it makes me so emotional. I still am blown away. And 9's my number 2. The 9 days from the 12/12 till the solstice, the night ending the 19th year. I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much for being here and for being on this journey. And I really invite you to stay tuned on Instagram because for the 100th episode, I'm going to be doing a big giveaway with a lot of my friends and companies and brands as a thank you for embarking on this journey. But in the meantime, just get the Solstice Guide and download it and reflect on it. And I'm really excited to share with you more episodes, more truth, more guidance, more wisdom, more conversations. So what to expect with the Sovereign Society podcast in 2020 from me. I'm going to be doing more solo episodes, and these solo episodes are going to be focused a lot more on mystical business development. Again, I just feel like there's been such a wave of modern mystics and modern medicine women and men and whoever, just these medicine people who have been doing the work for quite some time, and now it's time to really show up and share. And I want to help you share your medicine with the world online, and because I believe we have the power to revolutionize the world, and more of the authentic, blessed up energy there is, whether on the web, in our human interaction, just in this experience and humanity at large. This is how we're going to experience massive shifts and massive change in the world. And so I thank you for this love. I thank you for this support. I think every time I get a message from one of you guys saying that this podcast revolutionized and changed your life and was a massive catalyst in your healing, it means the world to me. So if you want to gift something to me for the 100th episode, if you listen on iTunes, just leave a rating and review. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is going to create a synergy that is going to bring more and more people to our soul squad, and it's going to continue to fuel me to keep going, because this is a lot of work and a lot of energy to put out there for you guys. But I'm choosing to come from this space of abundance and just to feel that overflow. But sometimes the entrepreneurial path gets really challenging. Like I edited 86 of these episodes by myself. And so that's why there's some times where there was like a lull of episodes coming out, because making the graphics, doing the sales page, doing everything by myself, it was a lot. So something I'm promising myself for 2020 is to ask for help. And so this is me asking for help from you all to really subscribe to the Sovereign Society podcast and to leave a rating and review on iTunes, to subscribe on Spotify, Stitcher, whatever podcast it has. And I'm excited to share with you my YouTube channel, because I have so many incredible videos that I get to share with you, like this episode right now, and you can watch on YouTube, as well as all the other 99 episodes. All the 99 episodes you can listen to and watch. And so it's just, again, been such a wild ride. And so this solstice, I just really invite you to infuse more play. I really invite you to harness and hone in on your gratitude, and to reflect, and to just give yourself the credit you deserve, because you've come so far, so far, so far. I'm so proud of you, and I'm honored again to be here, and I'm looking forward to learn more about what's going on and what you want to hear. And a couple days after you download this freebie, I would also love to get a survey and questions. I want to know who you want on the podcast, what topics or what questions you have. And this is how I want to be able to serve you. I want to answer your questions. So don't be afraid to reach out. And so thank you again. I can't express my gratitude for you, my love and my appreciation. I pray that you join me on the January 6th 40-day journey, Kundalini journey. Again, you can check in the show notes. Grab your Solstice Reflection Guide in the show notes, and share your favorite episodes with your friends this year. And if you need to get caught up, please do. We're going to be coming back on the 8th. And I'm just, again, thank you for your love and your support, and for trusting me and trusting yourself and doing the work on this journey, because what I can tell you is that the best is yet to come. Just buckle up and prepare yourself now. Start implementing it now, and be aware of who you surround yourself with, the habits that you've been doing. If they're in alignment with you're ready to embody, and give yourself permission to purge out everything that is out of alignment with the you're ready to become, because the best is yet to come, and this is your destiny in your hands. Your destiny is in your hands. So I just invite you to take action, and to take that leap of faith, and just trust that all is unfolding according to divine plan, and that you are supported and that you are loved. And so as I close out the last episode of this decade, the 99th episode of the Sovereign Society podcast, thank you. I believe in you, and I'm so excited to see what this journey and how this journey unfolds for all of us, and best believe I'll always be rooting for you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing with your friends. Thank you for showing up, and looking forward to be seeing you in the next decade. I can't believe this. This is incredible. All right, my love. I love you. Thank you. And we'll be seeing more of you soon. Take care. Sat Nam.